Hello, everyone. It's an absolute privilege to be here today to speak with all of you on this remarkable occasion. First, let me say how deeply honored I am to send this video along as a graduate of George Mason University's Communication Department and to share in the celebration of all your achievements. Congratulations, you did it. Exhale. Now, before we dive into the big next steps, I want you to take a moment. Think of someone who loves you, someone who makes you smile, someone who maybe took a call when you were stressed out or sent you a text when you were worried about a test. Find some time today. Send them a message just to say thanks. Let them know that they've had an impact. We don't always take the time to acknowledge those who've helped us along the way, but they are a huge part of our success. As you begin this journey and new chapter in your life, here's something I've learned. You can't do it alone. You can have the burning desire, the passion, the discipline, but in order to achieve at the highest levels, you need people, the right ones. You need a support system, mentors, colleagues who challenge you, and friends who pick you up when things get tough. So keep looking for those people. And when you find them, nurture those relationships because they will be the ones who help you climb higher than you ever thought possible. Now, my own story started right here not so long ago. I was just like many of you, unsure of where life would lead, but I was sure of one thing. I wasn't going to play it safe. I wasn't going to follow the easiest path, whether it was through sports, journalism, media. When I first stepped foot onto this campus, I remember walking by that big clock, talking on the phone with my dad, telling him I was going to get back to New York and get a job at ABC News. That was my dream. I told myself I wasn't going to rest until I did it. And 3 years later, I was standing right by that same clock, and I got a call that I was chosen by Dianna Sawyer to be her next intern. It wasn't a job, it was an experience, and it was a lot of coffee runs. I can still feel the excitement. I was so nervous that summer, but it was life-changing. I spent it learning from Dianna herself, observing her elegance, her tough-as-nails reporting, and her ability to connect with audiences. It was a masterclass. I returned my senior year and I was ignited, and I shared that fire with so many of my professors at George Mason, and they could see the shift in me. I was starving for the tools to launch into journalism. Their support, encouragement, and advice stuck with me for years. They taught me so much, and they taught me so much in how to believe in myself. But guess what? I did make it to New York. I worked at NBC News and I didn't like it. And after all that hustle, I wasn't happy. Sometimes the path doesn't look the way you expected, but that doesn't mean you stop moving. And luckily, I had another passion, and it was sports. So I picked myself up, I moved across the country, I learned how to be a sports reporter, and I started it all over again. And here's the thing. I was willing to pivot. I had to be willing to acknowledge that it wasn't exactly how I planned it to be. And this brings me to the critical point. The journey is never linear. It's filled with so many surprises and unexpected lessons. You're going to face challenges, it's going to be hard, and you will fail. You will fail over and over, but it will make you better. It really will. So as I stand here today, and you guys are about to take your next big step in your journey, just remember, be open to it all, the twists, the turns, and all the opportunities. It's about being resilient and willing to adapt. So to the faculty, thank you. Thank you for shaping all of the students, and thank you for shaping all the students here today. Don't be afraid to take risks, to pivot when necessary, and to lean on the people who lift you up. You've got this. Now go out there and make your mark. Thank you again, and congratulations.